and welcome back to another video. I am your host, Amelia Grace, and today we're going to be talking about combating your fear of failure and the secrets behind doing it that other people don't tell you. And I have timestamps for you if you want to fast forward to these, so without further ado, let's get into it. So for the first topic, I'm going to take you along on a little joyride with me. I have to go take all of these bags down here, down to salvos. They are old clothes that I have no room in my closet for, like, not even kidding. This is how full my closet is, and I can't, like, it's so hard to fit everything, and I've got about 2 full bags of clothes that I'm yet to put in here, but there's no space.
I shine so bright, you might go blind, blind, blind. When I walk through, they close their blinds. I'm gonna show off, I know it's time. I am my price, don't it look nice?
You look nice, don't you?
I bet we could roll out. When I show up, I'ma show out. Didn't know then, but I know now. Best kept secret, but you know now. Take a look what I started. Knew it right when I found it. Eyes on me 'cause I got it.
I live right near trees, so when it rains, it's like everything is so green and it just smells like fresh air and rain, and it's like, I love it. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, so we're going to talk about the first topic, and I've pulled over on the side of the road so that it can be like a nice, calm, chill vibe when we talk about this. Answering the questions that I'm about to ask you girls will help you get clear on what your failure fear is, so that you can know how to know where you are and how to know where you want to be. But the first thing is talking about what is your fear? So for me, in the past, it was creating all of these videos. Whatever your fear is, it is valid. Like, it's okay to have the fear. So with your fear of failure in related to whatever thing that you're scared of, grab a journal out and write down what things you say to yourself when you're in this spiral of fear. So it could be, I'm not good enough, it's a little bit too hard, I'm not gonna succeed. Like, be truthful and honest, don't hold anything back, because we're gonna sort all of this out, and if you don't put it all on the paper, how are you meant to fix it? And then after you have written down what your fear is and what things you say to yourself to fuel this fear, I want you to separate these energies first, and I want you to write your negativity and your fear on one page. Leave another page blank and just flip it over, and on that page on the other side you write what your dream life is. What does having no fear of failure look like to you? What would you be able to achieve if that was absent from your life? And I want you to write down all of the positive affirmations that you would say to yourself if you combated this fear. I want you to separate and end the negativity and the cycle of fear and start fresh on a new page and write all of the positive things. So doing this will help you enable manifestation. I want you to also write down if you procrastinate doing something because you're scared. If you take action but you're just a little bit worried of fear of judgment as well, write all of these things down that will fuel your fear of failure. For your negative side, also write down your current circle. If you've got friends or family members or a partner, write down the kind of things that you get told when you share a dream, or if someone's not supportive, just the kind of dynamic that you've got currently in your life. I want you to write down like all of the things that you don't want in your life anymore in regards to getting rid of fear of failure, because you need to get rid of the negativity that fuels that fear. And then on the other hand, I want you to write down in your current circle all of the positive things that you've got going. So friends who uplift you, friends who support you in doing something, friends who will stop you procrastinating. And I want you to focus solely on the positive circle in your life. I want you to write down every single sentence that you want to hear when you achieve something. I want you to write down the kind of people you want in your life. Imagine yourself 10 years in the future with everything you have ever wanted. For me, my baby pink Maserati, a nice big open house, lots of plants and flowers. I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm doing modeling, I've got my own businesses, I'm living with my boyfriend, all of these kind of things. That's my dream life, and that's what my life is going to look like after combating my fear of failure. And I've truthfully still got it. If I keep having this fear of failure ruin and rule my life, I'm never gonna get there because I'm gonna be too scared and end up not doing anything. So That's gotta go. When you're writing all of these positive things that you want in your life, feel into it and imagine that you've already got these things, because that's the process of manifesting. Imagine that you're already in your dream life with your amazing circle of friends and family. Imagine that you've already achieved the thing that you were so scared about before, and imagine and feel so grateful for that kind of life. It is achievable, but that is manifestation. That is how you start on the process. For our second topic, I would like to start off with one of my favorite quotes that I always abide by. I heard this from Tim Kerr first, and she said, "You are the average of the 5 people that you spend time with." And after hearing this, I was like, oh my God, she's right on point. Every single person, thing, and hobby that you involve in your life is an extension and a reflection of you. If you are someone who is high value, understands your worth, what you will and will not tolerate, you will not find a woman like that, including toxic men, as her boyfriends. Where if you are unsure and you don't know what you're worth and you're wishy-washy on all of these things, you're going to allow that toxic energy because you just don't know what you're wanting. So your circle is the most important thing in regards to what you fuel your fear with. So realize whatever someone's reality that they're projecting onto you, saying, oh no, you're not gonna succeed doing that, that's too saturated, that's too hard, that's their reality, and realize that that is not your own, nor does it ever have to be. So just let it, that's theirs, that's mine. In the process of going for your dreams and doing things that you really aspire to do, be careful of who you tell. Like we just said about your circle and your mindset in the first topic, you have to be mindful about who you allow your positive energy to. And you cannot allow your energy that's so positive and uplifting and motivated and creative to go to somebody else who's just going to give you toxic energy back. So when you are achieving something and when you're working towards something, keep your eyes open and know exactly what your target is, because nobody can hit their target with their eyes closed. So from my experience with combating fear of failure and all of my journey with living with it, it's been really tough, and I'm really grateful now that I am minimizing this fear so that I can dance with it and become the girl that I aspire to be. This is my 2024 mood board, by the way. But I have had trouble for a few years in a few different areas, but it's always been rising in everything that I try for the first time. It started when I was really little, so I have had this for a really long time. And I remember as a kid, I just drew circles, right? And I would draw flowers and I would draw like little teddy bears and stuff. And my mum would be in the dining room drawing with me when I was little. And every time I drew a picture, I would get so upset and I just hated what I was doing because it just wasn't perfect. And I feel like looking back on that and then reflecting on who I am now, I feel like perfectionism does play a big part in fear of failure. You get so caught up in what perfection is and wanting to do a task perfect without any failure or without doing anything wrong that it becomes so much harder to actually do it and feel like you did it well and that you succeeded. So as a kid, this riddled through me, failure and perfectionism and judgment as well, but these two were the main ones. And drawing pictures was hard, and then getting into art was really difficult for me sometimes because I wanted to create the perfect portrait, the perfect landscape. I wanted to do a new medium for the first time. That was really difficult, and I knew that, and I was like, no, I need a challenge. I always do things the hard way. And it was really hard having to grow up with this mindset, knowing that, thinking that I couldn't change it, that fear of failure and perfectionism were just something I just had to go along in life with, and that the most successful people never got these things, which is not true. You do see a lot of successful people who had a fear of failure, but those are the kind of people who won over it and triumphed over fear of failure. So know that it is possible. But continuing on with that story, I also experienced it heavily. This is where it really came into play, and I didn't know it. I didn't want to address it because I was like, that to me, I would believe that I wasn't good enough or that I was weak. So I just was, no, I'm not scared. I did content on Instagram and I was working endlessly, 100% of my time. I didn't use the 80-20 rule. I was always just like content. But then I would also be like study, and then I wouldn't allow time for friends or family or my own time. So I burnt out pretty quickly. But at that time, I wasn't so scared about posting it because I was always posting. I was scared about not ending up being successful from doing this. So that held me back from actually doing my best. And then when I went on to doing YouTube, it took me months of planning. And I talked about this in my first video of how to figure out what to do after high school. This process I went into a lot more depth with, and how I dealt with it in regards to knowing what I want to do after school. I talk more about that side of it. But with fear of failure in regards to it, I was always feeling like, you know, I'm not going to be successful. It's too saturated. I haven't got a good enough idea to talk about. Everything that I'm into, someone else is already doing. It's going to be too hard. I'm not good enough. Like, those thoughts repeated day in, day out. Every single time I would be editing something, making up a video idea, writing, even talking to my boyfriend about this stuff, I would just be riddled with, I can't do it. I'm scared about failing. I'm scared about doing something wrong. I felt so alone, overwhelmed, and scared that I would never be able to do these things. And truthfully, I still deal with this every day, but it's not the amount that I used to experience a month ago or 2 months ago. What my day looks like with fear of failure is I will plan to do rough cuts of other videos that I have made, but I still need to learn to prioritize this and not be scared of doing it, because I think it's not going to be good enough. I need to do it every day. Even if it's just 5 minutes, I need to get into the habit of doing it every day and building a better relationship with my mindset on, I need to do this so that I actually get the lifestyle that I want. I'm not going to be in a career that I don't enjoy just because I was too scared to do it. Like, life is too short to just be living by our fears. Which goes into my next topic, which is combating your procrastination and your fear. The law of attraction says that what you think about, you bring about. When you are consuming yourself with all of these possible what ifs and scenarios that have never happened, just fueling your fear, that is what you are going to be attracting into your life. You are going to be acting for those things because that is what you believe to be true. You believe that you are not good enough. You believe that it is too saturated. So how is your brain meant to differentiate that you can actually do it, that there is room for you, that you have a lot to say, if what you're telling it is the complete opposite? The universe is going to manifest what you keep repeating, what you keep focusing on. That is the energy frequency that you are putting out into the world. You literally are the creator of your own life. You have so many things to offer into this world. I have this quote that I put on my story and it sums it up perfectly. You are the creator of your world. You have been brought here with so many passions and skills and traits that you can use to your advantage. You don't have to compare yourself to everybody else who's already got the things that you want, but you can look in yourself and realize, I already have the gratitude that I need to start manifesting. I already have the dedication it needs to bring anything I want into reality. You can literally create anything that you want. Every single thing that you want can be yours. As I just said in the first topic, blonde hair, now I got it. Amazing wardrobe, I've got it. A cool boyfriend, I've got it. Dream room, I've got it. Every single thing that you want can be yours, but you just have to act for those things that you want. You have to believe you've already got it. You have to think the things as if you are already living that life. Think to yourself, I'm amazing, I'm creative, I'm hardworking and diligent, and look at how your life will change for the better in a year or so. You already have all of the knowledge that is necessary to actually do the things that you want to do. When you act as if the goal is already yours, your subconscious is going to start acting for those things and help you out with it and bring it into your life. You don't need to have it all figured out. The more you think you do, the more you will procrastinate moving forward. Literally have courage and start now. And as Jaden Haley has told me, you need to just do it now. Start ugly, perfect later. As the base says, Jaden Haley, the cost of procrastination is the cost of life that you could have lived. It can be a little bit scary, meeting new friends, starting a business, for me doing a YouTube channel, but you cannot let fear and judgment and perfection be the things that you allow to hold you back from your dream life. Because what if you actually become the CEO of a business and you end up living your dream life? What if you actually get to have private planes and fly around the world with abundance in money, love, happiness? What if you actually get that? So we are going to start talking about motion versus action. In reading Atomic Habits recently, I came across a topic, walk slowly but never backwards. After reading this chapter, I knew instantly I needed to create a video on this because I have dealt with it and I know so many other people who are also going through it and do not know the difference of what they are doing and how to get rid of it. So that chapter focuses on the procrastination and action that undermines the fear of failure. I love the experiment that he listed in this chapter because he talks about a professor, James Yulsman, who did an experiment every single time on the first day of class. And he divided the class up into two groups, the quality and the quantity group. The quality group would be graded solely on one photo that they would submit, and it had to be a nearly perfect photo. Where the quantity group was graded on the amount of photos that they submitted, so 100 an A, 90 a B, 80 a C, and so on. And they had the whole semester to submit something, and the quantity group had that time to hone their skills, learn from their mistakes, and experiment with contrast, texture, where the quality group sat around speculating what a perfect photo is and ended up submitting a mediocre photo, which the professor was really surprised by. And it turns out that the quantity group actually got the best grades because they perfected their skills. We are so focused on how to do things perfectly that we end up not taking action anyways. And that is the difference between motion and action. So when I sat down and wrote 52 video ideas and started planning out what I would say in each one, that is motion. Where if I actually sat down and recorded each of these videos, that is action. I was stuck in my motion phase for a really long time, just planning upon planning upon planning. And I was scared to actually start recording because that would mean that I was actually doing something for my dream. That was, to me, the phase where things could fail. And through that, I learned that the fear of failure experience, being so consumed with all of your what ifs, is actually worse than failing itself. When you fail, you learn and you get to understand what you did wrong and what you can do right. You can use failure to your advantage and be motivated by it. But what I was stuck in was the constant fear of it and letting that ruin my life and not actually do things that I wanted in my life. Motion is helpful in the starting phase. You needed to learn and plan, but it would never create results itself. Sometimes we do it because we actually need to plan and learn more, but more often than not, we do it because motion allows us to feel like we're doing something, because motion allows us to feel like we're making progress, but without the risk of failure. But really, you're just preparing to do an action. And when preparation becomes a form of procrastination, that is when you need to change. You don't want to be merely planning. You want to be practicing and honing your skills. You want to be becoming better. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really enjoyed making this one. And I hope that you girls enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope you have a really nice day. It has been really nice talking with all of you, and I hope to see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a big thumbs up if you liked the video. I also have my TikTok and my Instagram for you guys to check out, and more videos in my channel for you to have a look at. And good luck. I would love to hear your stories, by the way, on your current fears and how you were dealing with. I love you heaps. Bye.
I feel cute and I feel happy. There must be something wrong, cause it's been way too long since I feel cute